transforming bracket.
What's going on, everyone? So I gave my Criterion Collection Part 1 and 2. Both of them were shortly after sales. Obviously, I believe it was July of 2020 sale, and then obviously the November of 2020 sale. But I did get a bunch of Criterion movies. It was Christmas, and then a little bit after that, Criterion themselves had a sale. They had like a flash sale where it was like 50% off. And keep in mind, with July and November, those were Barnes & Noble sales. But this was directly Criterion, so I picked up a bunch as well. So I'm going to be doing this in alphabetical order. I'm not going to talk too much about them, but I just wanted to give you guys like an update on other pickups that I had. So I can't believe how many Criterions I bought in the last year or so. The pandemic really has gotten to me, man, because before I did not have too many Criterions, and yet here I am with a lot. But anyways, guys, all that being said, let's get started. So, All About Eve is the first one. This one I saw a while back, like 6-7 years ago. I'm looking forward to rewatching this. So, yeah, All About Eve. I really like the movie. Next up, Lars von Trier's Antichrist. This movie, I gave like a 3 out of 5, but I just can't stop thinking about it. So I really decided to just pick it up, give it a second viewing. And I mean, Criterion is, obviously so great with their transfers and everything. So I'm looking forward to watching this. I believe I saw it on like DVD a couple years ago, but so yeah, Antichrist. Next up, The Devil's Backbone, which is a Guillermo del Toro film. I think this is very underrated. It honestly reminds me a lot of Pan's Labyrinth, which came after this. So I definitely think del Toro came up with this movie, and then a lot of these ideas kind of, progressed forward to Pan's Labyrinth. So Devil's Backbone, I really like this movie. Next up is Do the Right Thing, which I actually got for Christmas, and I believe it was shortly after that is when I found out that the 4K transfer was actually going to be on 4K, not Blu-ray. But I'm still glad I got this because, the packaging is just awesome. It comes with like a huge booklet. This was a great pickup. I'm so glad I got this for Christmas. Shout out to my fiance. So yeah, Do the Right Thing. Next up, The Gold Rush, which is a Charlie Chaplin movie. I really like this movie. I still need to get like Modern Times, which maybe, for the haul for July, maybe I'll be picking it up because I really like Charlie Chaplin. The Gold Rush, I think, is underrated. And I say underrated because, yeah, it's got good reviews and everything, but I feel like with Charlie Chaplin, when people talk about him, they think of The Great Dictator and obviously Modern Times, which, again, Modern Times is my favorite of his, but The Gold Rush is still really good. Yeah, that's why I picked it up. Next up, The Irishman. Don't get me wrong, The Irishman is on Netflix and you can watch it on 4K, but I like having physical media, and, this 4K transfer I've heard is amazing, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Yeah, it's 4K and it's downscaled onto Blu-ray, but I still think that it will still be an amazing experience watching it. I haven't opened it up just yet, but don't be surprised if on Letterboxd you see me reviewing this soon, because I love The Irishman. I'm a huge fan of it, and, if it is Martin Scorsese's last film, which I don't think it is, but if it is, he went out with a bang. Amazing film. That's The Irishman. Next up, Lahane, which I'm looking forward to rewatching this movie, especially with everything that's occurred in the news within the past year or so. I saw this movie, I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5, but I just can't stop thinking about it. And I feel like I kind of might have didn't pick up on enough details and everything, especially with where I was in life when I saw this like 3 years ago. So I'm looking forward to watching Lahane. It's, from what I've heard, a really good French film. Like I said, I thought it was solid, but I want to revisit it, which is why I picked it up on Blu-ray. Next up, Marriage Story. Similar to The Irishman, you can watch this on Netflix, but again, I'm a huge advocate for physical media, so I wanted to, own this on Blu-ray. Same thing, I've heard good things about the transfer onto Blu-ray, and Criterion, again, they're incredible with their transfer, so glad that I own this. I really love this movie, man. I really do. I think the performances are great, and yeah, Noah Baumbach, I love it. Next up, Midnight Cowboy. This was a film I saw once about 6 years ago, and I remember really liking it, but I wasn't quite sure if I would like it a second time, but I still wanted to watch it on Criterion. So I picked up the Blu-ray, and I'm glad that I did because I absolutely love this film. One of my favorite Academy Award Best Picture winners, and this movie was ahead of its time, honestly. It really was. It's aged like a fine wine. Great film. Would highly recommend. So that's Midnight Cowboy. Next up, and the final one, Traffic. Steven Soderbergh is hit or miss. I've finished watching about half of his filmography. This is definitely one of my favorite of his. I haven't seen this in a while and I haven't opened it just yet, but I'm curious if it's going to hold upon a second viewing, but I remember really liking it, especially the different color palette choices with each story arc. I thought that was very fascinating. But it's nearly 2.5 hours, but I'm looking forward to rewatching this. But yeah, guys, this is my update for the Criterion channel with movies I own. So obviously, if you haven't checked out part 1 and 2, you guys can obviously check that out in my playlist. But I will probably be doing a part 4 when July obviously occurs, when they have that Barnes & Noble sale. I don't know if I'll go as crazy. I mean, who knows with the pandemic and everything. But there are several choices I do want. Like, I do want to try to pick up The Night of the Hunter, Modern Times, On the Waterfront. Like, some of those movies I might pick up. But yeah, guys, again, thank you for watching. Let me know your Criterion Collection down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.